Hello and welcome to Blank Plate, a podcast for Swifties with an appetite.
I'm Sarah, and I used to be a little kid with glasses and a twin-size bed.
I'm Laura, and I'm a mess, but I'm the mess that you wanted.
Did you hear about the girl who lives in delusion? I'm Rebecca.
And we've got a blank plate, baby, and we'll write your name.
Woo! Rebecca's back,
Right.
baby!
We are here with our Swiftie correspondent, Rebecca, back again.
Our chat blew up. We had to have her back.
Yeah.
Our chat blew up.
No, really. All right. It's an emergency.
Emergency pod.
Tea has been spilled, and we must chat. We must yap, as you said,
Yes,
Rebecca.
the yearn to yap returns.
Yes.
The yearn to yap. For real. So we're here today because, well, more or less, Taylor is giving us some real scoop inside of her relationship with Joe through these Apple playlists that she has released about the 5 stages. She called them heartbreak, but we know them 5 stages of grief. Anyway, we'll get into it. Our chat blew up, and as we were literally railing on the fact that like these two have been fighting for way longer than we think in our Coney Island episode with Rebecca, we had to have her back. So, welcome back, Rebecca.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Apologies for any squeaks from this chair. I'm in a hotel podcast studio today, and things are not ideal. But this is what we do for emergency pods.
This is what we do for Taylor. So,
And yeah, my chair's a little squeaky.
I'm representing. Yes.
both of you are wearing your merch.
Yes. Always
Wow.
gotta have on the merch.
Period.
I need to step it up. I'm just wearing a sweater. Oops.
Well, I never turned down a theme. So
Yeah.
Nice.
You even have a record behind you.
yeah, that is I Love Trash by Oscar the Grouch.
Lovely.
45.
Nice.
Love it. Okay, so we were all theorizing this stages of grief thing when it comes to the Tortured Poets Department color scheme. So for those who have no idea what the hell we're talking about, Taylor curated 5 playlists in preparation for TTPD's release. Each of them comes with a message from her and like a little explainer. And she made a list of these songs that were all associated with the 5 stages. And I was wondering, like, has she ever done this before? Like,
Yeah, so she did do these curated playlists with Apple before for her glitter gel pen, fountain pen, and quill pen songs. And
Oh,
each one
nice.
had like a message from Taylor, like these ones do. But
yeah.
that, as far as I could see, that was
Well,
the only other time. That was during the
She
Midnight Era.
also broke up folklore into all those different chapters.
Right.
That's true.
I remember
Yeah.
being very confused by that.
Yeah, that would
Um,
have been something to dissect.
So the press release from Apple Music said, when Taylor Swift announces an album, the world takes an interest. That's certainly what happened in the days after she revealed the Tortured Poets Department, as intrepid Swift began hunting and assembling and pinning clues to digital corkboards, eventually landing on the theory that her 11th studio album is sure to explore the 5 stages of heartbreak. That is Swifties began hunting. So this is straight from the fans. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
Um,
it seems like we were probably wrong about the 5 stages of grief theory, but Taylor liked it and
Yeah.
now is giving us this, right?
I want to
Like,
know
this
how
is a
many
real
times
chicken or egg
that
situation.
happens.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like there's too many coincidences, unless she is like a witch or a serial killer or something. There's too much of it. I think a lot of it is like some happy accidents, and she's like,
Yeah,
I'm meant to do that.
that's
Right.
totally what I was thinking about that. Totally. So she chose songs from her own catalog that fit each stage of grief. Heidi Applebottom is back, everybody.
Loves
Oh.
upbeat.
Hello, sweet child. She's so cute. This is if you have not met Heidi Applebottom, this is Rebecca's adorable cat.
She can see out the window right now, so she's locked in.
She is unfazed. So each one of these playlists it's about denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And each one has like a tagline that's associated with the album. 4 of them are from like the back of the vinyl albums, and then the 5th one is named after a song title. So it's pretty cool that this came from Swifties, but like I was just like, what are the 5 stages of grief? She calls it 5 stages of heartbreak, but
Yeah, why do you think that is? Do you think
I
that's
don't
like
know.
a copyrighted idea or something?
So I did some research and I don't think it's copyrighted, but I do think the fact that like it may not be grief, but like different relationships she's sort of like hearkening back to in the playlist. Maybe she's like, oh, these are about multiple heartbreaks that I've had. So, and all the different times I've gone through this process. I don't know. But the 5 stages of grief comes from this woman. Pop off. Her name is Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. And
Nice.
she's this Swiss American psychiatrist who wrote this book on death and dying, which she was basically researching terminally ill patients in their process of grief. And that's how the like 5 stages came to be, but she like later had to clear up and say like, yeah, this is like the predictable progression, but like not everyone's process is linear. Like it's not like you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're good. Like everybody like sort of goes and sways back and forth between all the different phases. So I don't know why she calls it heartbreak and not 5 stages of grief, but it's the
probably
same thing.
Just
I also
Taylor
feel like
doing her
it's
poetic
like-
license thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or also it's an opportunity for her to copyright that.
Yeah.
She will copyright the fuck out of anything, or her team will.
True.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Our capitalist queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
most of the tea's coming from like the Midnight's Evermore folklore lover time frame.
Yeah.
Right?
I was thinking about that, like going through our list, that most of the songs that we're talking about are from Lover, Folklore, Evermore, Midnights, because those are all the Jill relationship. So now that has relatively recently ended, like I feel like all the older songs were like, yeah, those make sense.
Right. We know
But
what happened with
now-
Harry Styles. We
So,
don't need
like-
to rehash that. We know
Yeah.
why it ended and how it ended and
Right.
you know what terms they're
Yeah.
on. But I
mean,
feel
I
like
think, like
Jake
all of
Gyllenhaal, we
those-
get it.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think all of those songs about previous men in her life must have come out after whatever it was had already ended, because she never dated anyone for very long until Joe. So
Right.
now, like, we have all these songs that came out during her relationship with him. But now that it's ended, and hindsight is 2020, and she's looking back on it with a different lens and laying it out for us, we can be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is she telling us here?
Also, like, okay, I've been seeing a lot of TikToks where people are like, look, she was telling us this whole time that she's in the middle of depression. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, wait. Like, she's making these playlists now, looking
Mhm.
back on her relationships. She wasn't like writing Lover while acknowledging that she was in the denial phase. Like, that's not, no, but she can look back
Right.
on that now and say, oh, look at all these clues I was like subtly saying that I was
Yeah,
in
I mean-
denial. Like,
The whole idea of being in denial is that you don't know that you're in it.
right. But I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, she was telling us this whole time. Why weren't we listening about this? I'm like,
Right.
no, actually, like,
Yeah, it's not like she was trapped in that
Mhm.
relationship and like
right.
couldn't
Mhm.
escape. So she's like leaving secret messages in the Lover album.
Right. I think now
Mhm.
she's just calling her former self out through her own
Yeah.
songs, which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy. So should we just like go phase by phase? Let's just like, I mean,
Yeah,
I think
let's
the
dive
biggest
into it.
the biggest one is Denial, which is titled I Love You, It's Ruining My Life songs.
Mhm.
And her message was This is a list of songs about getting so caught up in the idea of something that you have a hard time seeing the red flags, possibly resulting in moments of denial and maybe a little bit of delusion. Results may vary.
I can't wait to get into this.
I know.
All right, so like the number one song that I think stuck out to everyone on this list is Lover.
Oh,
Like her most like lovey-dovey song about her relationship with Joe, being like, look how happy we are. We get to make our own rules in this house that we share. And it's like, just like, oh, like playing house with each other, and you've got the lover house. And now she's like, yeah, I was in denial. I was in denial about all the red flags.
she was like, I'm Delulu.
Yeah.
So,
She's like, I literally thought I was going to marry that guy.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, if you can now look into Lover, she did give a lot of clues that it wasn't like, I don't know, like now looking back on it, I'm like, oh my God. It's
They've been
real.
fighting since 2019, as
Thank
I
you.
said before.
They've been fighting, okay?
Afterglow. Just take a deep dive into Afterglow.
Really.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And we even said this on Coney Island that like we thought that Lover as a whole album was kind of like it's overwrought with like everything's perfect, I'm so in
Mhm.
love, with like very high key anxiety about it the whole time. And it's weird. Like I don't know. I don't know. We were
It's
all like,
like
we're so
the-
happy for her.
It's like the Instagram post by the couple that's like, oh my God, we love each other so much. Oh, I love you,
Yes.
babe, blah, blah, blah. And then 3 months later, it's like they're erased from their timeline. And it's like, oh yeah, they broke up.
It's
Yeah.
like the Instagram post where the caption is like, thank you for putting up with me. I know we go through highs and lows, and the highs are so high and the lows are so low, but it's all worth it. It's just like you read that and you're like, that's the healthy relationship? That's the
Yeah.
person? That's your person?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that kills me about Lover specifically is if you actually reread the lyrics, she's like begging for acceptance. She said, "Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close?" It's like, AKA,
Mhm.
please, please, please accept me. And
Yeah.
then she's also like, everything is could and not like
Mhm.
it is. So, for example, like, we could leave up the Christmas lights till January. Or
Right.
we could have the crash friends in the living room. It's not that
Mm.
we are, it's that we could. Like, if
Mm.
you stay with me in this relationship, we could have this perfect
Mhm.
thing. And you'll save all your dirtiest jerks. Like, you will. Not that you are, but you
Mhm.
will in this hypothetical relationship I'm making in my mind. So it's like
Mhm.
kind of bargaining.
Yeah. Even can
Yeah.
I go where you go is like asking for permission.
Yeah.
And it seems like
Mm.
she knows that he's just going to do whatever he wants and is just like, can I
Yeah.
come with?
It's giving
Like, don't leave
begging
me
for the
Instead of-
footnotes in the
yeah.
story of your life. That's
Yeah.
what it's giving.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
no.
So
Yeah. Instead of planning a life together, it's like, oh, I know you're not like as interested in this as I am. So can I just like come along?
yeah.
That's kind
Ugh.
of sad.
It's so
Vomit.
sad.
Yeah. Well, and then with the bridge being essentially wedding vows,
Mhm.
and she talked, I think, in her diary of a song about this being a song that people could dance to at a wedding. So it's very clearly setting up like, I want to marry this person. I want to build a life with them. Like, we're so in love. And
Yeah,
you know,
she-
I take this magnetic force of a man, like, and
She
people-
specifically said that they were all the cliche things that you said in vows, specifically.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
it's,
it was like a little twist to them, as she likes to do.
yeah.
And we were talking in our group chat about, like, people have discussed, does this song reference like the wedding march or something? But
Yeah, that was like our
looking into it, I'm
Berenstein
I
Bears moment.
So
Yeah.
I did look into that. I did look into it. So like I couldn't find a direct correlation. And I tried to go I was on like Reddit threads. I couldn't find anything. But I did find, like, just through looking at the chord progression of the like beginning of the song, that it does follow very, very, very loosely, the first three chords sort of match the chord progression of Pachelbel's canon, which people use. But I mean, nevertheless, it's definitely a wedding song. Like this is a song that's like cluing us in that she wants to marry this man. Like this is for real.
Yeah. Which is
Ugh.
also why in Lavender Haze, which we can talk about next, it was kind of surprising when she talks in that song about the 1950s shit they want from me. All they keep asking me is if I'm going to be your bride. And this is where I feel like the denial comes in for the song.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't want to be your bride. Why is everyone putting this on me?
Yeah.
But we know from Lover, we're like, doesn't she want to marry this guy?
Yeah.
But then he probably didn't want to. And she's like, well, I don't need that.
I
Like,
wouldn't marry me either.
I wouldn't marry me either. Like, you know, do I really need to get married? Like, I am the
feel like
biggest celebrity on the planet. Why do I have to get married? You know?
I feel like he's a guy that I don't believe in marriage. It's a piece of paper and blah, 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 and kind of talked her into not believing in that stuff. And she's a very, like, I would say a romantic person that she loves she loves love and she loves the idea of marriage and even romanticizes like arguing with your lover and, you know, playing house and blah, blah, blah and all that stuff. So I think that, it was her denial of like, oh, like, that's totally, it's, you know, it's so old school and that's all they want from me.
Why would I want that?
Yeah, I don't want that. Yeah.
Laura, can you play that clip for us from Lavender Haze?
So this is the Lavender Haze. I'm playing it way too cool and I don't care.
All they keep asking me is if I'm gonna be your bride.
Yeah, and she's like, get it off my desk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And here's the Lover bridge that we had referenced to.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand? With every guitar string scar on my hand, I take this magnetic force of a man to be my lover. My heart's been borrowed and yours has been blue. All's well that ends well to end up with you. Swear to be over dramatic and true to my lover.
Magnetic force of a man. I mean, that is delusion.
That's pure denial.
Also, if we think about it, this Lover song, there's no acknowledgement that the other person is on the same page as her. It's her vows. It's her saying it.
Yeah.
There's nothing from the other person.
Oh, have you seen I've seen this a lot on TikTok recently, is the and at every table I'll save you a seat because he's not coming.
He never shows.
Yeah, he never showed up.
I'll save you a seat in case you come, but you don't.
Right. I'm holding out hope that you show up for me in the way that I'm showing up for you.
It's so sad. I really feel like all these different little clues about their relationship is like her giving us context and insight before TTPD drops, because she may or may not reference none of this. Like she's kind of letting us fill in a lot of gaps through this, but without explicitly saying anything. Do you know what I mean? Like she's letting us know what's going on without saying like, this man was not interested in being a part of my life at all, but here's these clues that you can figure out for yourself to figure
She's
that
also
out.
saying so much.
Oh yeah. Other songs on Denial, Sweet Nothing.
Ouch.
Oh, here you go.
All that you ever wanted from me was sweet nothing.
Yeah, so
that's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I pulled out that clip especially because like when I was going through this, I would pull up the lyrics and look through the songs and be like, what's sticking out to me right now? And she's saying, you know, I would come home to you and your sweet nothings, like plural, which is a thing you say about like, you know, the cute little things you and your partner do or whatever. And it says, all you ever wanted from me was sweet nothing. But like, now it's like did Joe going to the idea that maybe Joe wanted her to kind of give up her career, at least in some capacity. Like he wanted her to do nothing. You know? All you ever
Yeah.
wanted from me was sweet nothing.
Yeah. Also,
I don't know.
a little, if we read a little into a more morbid
Mhm.
reading of that, like she's realizing that he never cared as much as she did. He never wanted the relationship out of her. He never wanted the marriage out of her. He wanted nothing,
Yeah.
He had
basically.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're reading this from a sweet way, you could say, like, all you ever wanted from me was sweet nothing. Maybe like, you didn't even need anything from me. And
Yeah,
maybe
you
that's
weren't
where the
trying to get
denial comes
money
in.
or fame or clout or whatever, trying
Yeah.
to help your career. You just
Or
you just
yeah,
wanted
like you
me to
didn't
be
need
me.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you just wanted me around. I don't know. But
Yeah, but if you look at it from the other end, it's like, ooh, he didn't really
Mhm.
want anything at all. So
Again-
he did not want to be associated with you. Like,
am I wrong? Didn't he write that song with her? Or no, did he
Yeah.
only write he did?
that's a William Bowery.
Again, what were they
yeah.
writing together?
But there's also insinuations that this song was inspired by Paul McCartney
Mhm.
and
Yes,
his
and Linda.
wife. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, because Taylor liked a tweet about that
Mhm.
like recently, like since
Yes.
this song came out, which is pointed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The next one that we know that Joe wrote with Taylor, as from the Long Pond sessions, is Betty. On the Denial song. So
I have questions about that.
yeah,
I have a lot of questions.
I'm so
Like,
confused.
I rewatched the little clip from the Long Pond sessions of her talking about this, and she said that Joe was singing the fully formed chorus from another room. And then she was like, "Excuse me, what?" And at that point, they had the conversation like, "Hey, this might be weird, but let's try writing a song together." Which means Betty was the first song they wrote together. But why would he? Okay, Laura, roll the clip, please. Listen
Roll
to this
clip.
chorus and tell me why Joe would be singing these words just off the top of his noggin. Just tell me why.
But if I just showed up at your party, would you have me? Would you want me? Would you tell me to go fuck myself? Or lead me to the garden? In the garden, would you trust me if I told you it was just a summer thing? I'm only 17, I don't know anything, but I know I miss you.
It's giving I cheated and I didn't mean it.
And it was just a summer thing. If I showed up at your party, would you want me? I don't know. You never come to any of our parties. Also, I always thought it was weird that they said, take me to the garden. Because garden is what British people call like the backyard. So
Yeah,
that
interesting.
makes sense that he would have written that line.
I mean, we
But,
know
like-
that she said that James had been foolish.
Yeah.
So is
She
this
said that over
a
and over
fool?
again.
Yeah.
He's a fool.
He's a fool.
Is this but
Yeah.
is she insinuating that this is actually based off of her and Joe because there were rumors about him having an affair with one of his co-stars.
Mhm.
So
Right. So it's
Yeah, and
like,
I think that these playlists really kind of nailed that nail in the coffin a
Mhm.
little deeper
Mhm.
throughout a lot of different songs.
oh my
Also,
god.
the whole story of Betty is that James cheated on Betty. Wait, I totally forgot that I was calling her in our notes, Cardigan Girl.
well, she is. So
Betty is. So everybody cheated on Betty, with the Augustine or whatever. And then he comes back and he apologizes and they get back together. So I feel like the denial is that James and Betty could end up together after that happened.
yeah. The denial of like okay, what was I thinking? Like, that's not a happily ever after type of relationship. So,
Right.
I would also like to add that Betty has always been my skip song on Folklore. I think it's the worst song on the album, so fuck you, John, for that.
Also, I think
also-
Betty doesn't fit. I think Betty fits better on Evermore,
yeah.
like stylistically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that. Also, it always bothered me that just the story was so like, oh, you know, you're sleeping with some other girl, but I thought of you while I was doing it. It
Blech,
made me
gee,
so like
thanks.
so icky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so icky, and I hated that. And then she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kiss you in front of my friend," and it's like,
Also, when the part I hate about Betty is when he is there to apologize and he calls her friends stupid.
stupid. This is, yeah, okay, so yes, we know that Joe wrote the song. I totally believe it because this is some male fantasy shit.
It is.
I'm gonna cheat on you, and then just like, I'm gonna blow you off, cheat on you the whole summer, and then just show
Yeah.
up, call your friend stupid, and be like, well, I was thinking of you when I was
I
cheating
miss
with
you.
her.
I miss you.
And then
Right.
it's all good, and
It was
she
just a
forgets him,
summer
and they're in
thing.
love. That's such a male
It
fantasy.
is. It is.
All right,
It
so
is.
Joe did write one song.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so other ones that stood out was Cruel Summer, which like everybody's bebopping to.
I gotta
Mhm.
get into it. I gotta
Okay,
get
get-
into it.
Get
Spill
into it, Rebecca.
Okay, the weight that I'm drunk. The bridge. Do we have the
Mhm.
bridge?
Yeah.
Play me the bridge.
Yes, here's
Roll
the
me the
bridge.
bridge.
Roll clip.
And clip.
I'm drunk in the back of the car, and I cried like a baby coming home from the bar. Said I'm fine, but it wasn't true. I don't wanna keep secrets just to keep you. And I snuck in through the garden every night that summer just to steal my faith. And I scream for whatever it's worth. I love you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard?
Okay, first of all, greatest bridge of all time.
Yes.
Second, we have so many echoes. We have the garden, Betty's garden. That's the first thing I thought of when you said
Mhm.
garden.
Good
now
point.
we have I Love You, Ain't That the Worst Thing You Ever Heard? Which what's the title of this playlist?
Denial.
What
Oh,
isn't
no,
it?
I love you. It's ruining my life.
Ding ding ding. I love you. It's ruining my
Oh.
life. I love you. Ain't that
Ain't-
the
Is
worst
that the
thing
worst
you
thing
ever heard?
heard?
Hello.
Mm.
Hello.
Mm-mm.
Also, like just the idea of like, I love you. Is that like the worst thing I've ever done to you? Like, am I that awful that you like cannot love me? Because
Yeah, it's giving
Mm-hmm.
anti-hero.
yeah.
She's the monster on the hill. Like, yep, I'm
Mm.
just this big fucking obstacle in your life now. I just inserted myself. Isn't that
Well,
horrible?
yeah, and I love you ain't the worst thing you've ever heard because it's like, if she didn't love him, she could just walk away,
Right.
you know? But like, she's in love, so
She's
it's
taking
ruining her
it.
life. It's
I'm
ruining
fine.
her life.
I'm fine. I'm
But
fine.
it wasn't true.
Yeah, that's the line that stuck out to me was said I'm fine, but it wasn't true. That's
I'm in denial.
Okay, the line I want to get to is right after that. I don't want to keep secrets just to keep you. This
Mhm.
man, I feel like this is like pre-boyfriend girlfriend time. You know, up on the roof with the schoolgirl crush, drinking
Mhm.
beer out of plastic cups. I feel like she wanted to date him, and he was like, I don't want none of that Taylor Swift famous girl shit. I don't want to, but I'll do it if you keep it on the, if we don't tell anyone about it. And that's
Mm.
also so, that's another just like cliche male, like,
You kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an
situationship.
oath.
That's
Yeah.
like, that is a situationship if I ever heard one. Like, yeah, I'll date, but
Mhm.
don't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
I'm just like a little too hipster for like your Swifties, and like I don't really want to be tied into that. So like, no.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, like, I guess I'll date you. Ugh, yeah, you're Taylor
Yeah.
Swift, whatever, I guess, but don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to his credit, imagine dating Taylor Swift. It's a,
Okay, but let's look at Travis Kelce.
but this is
Travis
why we love him.
Kelce, yes.
Yes.
Travis
Every-
Kelce
Mhm.
has the confidence and the ego about himself, and just the demeanor. Like,
I mean,
I guess he's like
literally,
a golden retriever, but like
He just respects her.
in the best way.
he
Period.
does. He celebrates
he's
her.
not
He
Yes.
doesn't
intimidated.
tolerate her. He celebrates her.
Yes.
And
Like-
and there's something about him that he must be like, you know what? This is worth it. And if this doesn't work out, then okay. Then I dated Taylor Swift and it didn't work out. But if you're any kind of person with anxiety, it's like, well, what if I date this person and then it doesn't work out? And then everyone knows about it. And it's like you're in a
He's-
fishbowl.
I feel like that's Taylor.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel
He's-
like that's why she's
he's-
so
Yeah.
in denial of like, I have to prove to
Mhm.
everyone that this is the love of my life and I'm going to date him and we're going to get married.
Right.
See, look, I did it. I did it. I'm not just the girl who writes about her
Mhm.
ex-boyfriends and picks the wrong man and blah, blah, blah. See,
right.
I did it right this time. I feel like
Right.
that's her anxiety talking.
I mean,
Yeah.
Travis Kelce literally, well, in comparison, since we are comparing, when asked in interviews, Joe was like, they were like, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song? He says, oh, I'm not even going to get into that world. And then
Mhm.
Travis Kelce, on the other hand, was asked the same question. He said, oh, that's not just my game day playlist. That's my everyday playlist. I can't choose
Right.
one. Like, there's
Yeah.
a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I
God.
feel like every single one of her relationships has been secret or,
Yeah.
you know, not public but private. Maybe like Calvin
Mhm.
Harris, they knew, the public knew, it was confirmed, blah, blah, blah. But like
Mhm.
Harry Styles, secret. John Mayer, secret. Joe Jonas, it was
Mhm.
all
Yeah.
secret. Don't tell anyone. It's private, blah, blah, blah. And this is like the first man that is out
Mhm.
here being like, yeah, that's Taylor. That's Taylor Swift. That's my girlfriend. I support her. And
Yeah.
does that, like, that's the first time I feel like in her adult life, some guy has been like, yep, I'm dating
Not-
her, claiming it.
And not to call out our next song, but Don't Put Me in the Basement when I went the penthouse of your heart. Like,
Mhm.
she, okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
Bejeweled is on this playlist.
Which
and I have
does
a
not
theory.
make sense to me.
I have a
Bejeweled
theory.
does not sound like denial at all. To me, this sounds more like acceptance, like getting the fuck out
Well-
of here, you know?
I feel like, okay, so if, you know, in the Cruel Summer Bridge, we have him giving her an ultimatum of like, I'll date you, but keep it a secret. I feel like this is her ultimatum of like, get your shit together so I can love you.
Mhm.
Of like, you know, I can go and tell the band that, you know, I forgot your name.
I don't have
I can go and do
I don't
that.
remember.
I don't need you.
Mhm.
And I have to go and do this for myself. So you better let me do that.
I have a theory that there's a reason why it's on this playlist and why it's the last on this playlist.
Oh,
So,
is it? Because
It's the last on the playlist
because don't they all
Interesting.
pretty much go in order of album?
ish, except this one.
Interesting.
So, I mean, it's not perfect, but like it is weird that like why would a Midnight Song be the last one? Like that
Mhm.
normally it goes backwards. But anyway, so again, Don't Put Me in the Basement when I went the penthouse of your heart, right?
Right.
So we know Bejeweled is like this kind of like empowerment, like taking back her power sort of thing. Like this song to me is like the segue from denial to anger. Because if you watch the way that she performs
Mhm.
Baby Love, I think I've been a little too kind. She's
Mhm.
pissed.
Oh yeah.
She has a snarl in her lip when she performs that. So I think to me, this is the segue from denial. Like I've been living in Delulu land and now I'm moving on. And that next phase is
Okay.
going to be anger. So that's why I think it's on this playlist. That's just
Okay.
my read. So I don't know.
Could be.
Also, I don't know. I keep putting together like "Don't Put Me in the Basement" because I want the penthouse of your heart, and Frontline's "Don't You Ignore Me." I'm the best thing at this party.
Mm-hmm.
Homeboy was ignoring her.
Apparently.
Like I've been there. I've been in a relationship where it's on the rocks, and they start, you know, purposely leaving you out of things and then, gaslighting you about it. I've fucking been there. So good on her to be like, get your shit together, bitch, because I don't need you.
Yeah.
Because that certainly wasn't me.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the tea on denial.
There's,
we
there's a
move
lot of
to-
tea there. That was a lot
That's
of
a
tea.
lot.
Yeah.
And of course, there's songs that we just like know is about
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the next is Anger, which is titled "You Don't Get to Tell Me About Sad." So, her message said, "These songs all have one thing in common. I wrote them while feeling anger. Over the years, I've learned that anger can manifest itself in a lot of different ways, but the healthiest way that it manifests itself in my life is when I write a song about it, and oftentimes that helps me get past it."
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I said a lot of the songs on here are really obvious. Like we have Vigilante Shit, Woulda,
Bad
Coulda,
Blood.
Shoulda, Bad Blood,
Right.
Mad Woman. We are never,
never
ever
getting-
getting back
yeah.
together. Like we're like,
Mhm.
yeah, those are angry songs.
we got it.
But
You get
there's
it.
some that heard the sentence, I wrote this when I was mad. You were like,
Yeah.
you did?
You
Yeah.
did? So you're
Tell me-
acknowledging it's not fictional?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I wrote them while feeling anger. Okay. And the three we have picked out come from Folklore and Evermore, which, fictional
The
characters.
fictional. Okay, I love that she used this idea that like, oh, these are like fictional characters that I've made up. She was trying to preserve this man from being absolutely demolished.
Denial, bargaining.
Yes.
She was protecting his ass.
Yes.
Yeah. She was like, probably like, please, I need to write about these feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say, oh,
And he
they're
was
just
probably
love
like, you
stories."
can't release that song. Everyone's going to know it's about me.
Well, I'll make
So
it,
she
I'll
came
make it
up with-
about stories.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's
Well,
so bad.
But I also
So-
love that it was just like a ticking time bomb
mhm.
for him
Yeah.
of like him
He
trying to
knew.
control her. Don't put that shit out there. They'll know it's
Mhm.
about me. And she did. But something happened on April
Even
9th.
if you think about it, even Midnight's is to protect him too. It's not just
Yes.
Folklore and Evermore.
Mhm.
Midnight's, the concept was, oh, these are just random nights of my life. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
It could have been about any of my exes. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, maybe,
Mhm.
girl, but like,
Yeah, and then we were all
Mhm.
like, is this a breakup?
really,
Right.
the biggest
so-
one, the biggest one is Tolerate It, like
Tolerate
hands
It.
down. Which we
Which-
were calling out.
We knew this
Yeah.
was personal. It's a track
This blew up
5.
the group chat.
Yeah,
The GC exploded on this
It-
one.
you cannot write that song without feeling
Yeah.
so much rage.
And I denied it for so long because she was like, I read this novel called Rebecca. And I was like, period. Okay. I was like, it's fictional, and they both love sad songs, and in the long,
Yeah.
like, we just love really, really sad songs, and who can,
Yeah.
the saddest song, who could find the saddest song? And I'm like, I bought it hook, line, and sinker.
We all did.
We all
She
did.
did say about reading Rebecca, she was like, I have felt this way at times in my life.
She did say that. I also like
What times?
Right now?
I know.
the theme of this relationship is he didn't give two F's about this woman and was not giving her any place in his life, because in Tolerate It, like writing footnotes in the story of your life, drawing hearts in the bylines, basically saying like, I'm doing my best to make you look beautiful and let everyone
Mhm.
know that I love you so much, but like you're not even making me a main character in your manuscript.
Honestly,
Your poet's
she
Bible?
should have written a song about Jane Eyre, because that's the one where the guy has his wife locked up in the attic.
For real. Okay, let's play the Tolerated bridge and just take this in for a minute.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
While you were out building other worlds, where was I? Where's that man who threw blankets over my barbed wire? I made you my temple, my mirror, my sky. Now I'm begging for footnotes in the story of your life, drawing hearts in the byline, always taking up too much space or time. You assume I'm fine, but what would you do if I?
Excuse me?
Okay, I take back what I said about Cruel Summer Bridge because that's the best bridge.
I mean, how can you pick a best bridge
Oh
in
my
her
God.
discography?
True.
But
It's
also,
so
like,
good.
What I think is so great about the Eras Tour in general is seeing her perform songs like this. Like, Tolerate is one where you really see the anger in her performance, where she's got that whole table set up and, you know, this dancer acting like her partner is completely ignoring her, and she's just like pleading and getting upset and frustrated. Because Tolerate, the song is like very like soft, and same with Illicit Affairs, which we need to talk about as well. But like
Yeah.
when you see her perform them, the anger shows.
Yeah. I mean, she was like throwing plates off the table on the Eras Tour, so
Yeah.
there's a level of devastation to I made you my temple, my mural, my sky. I made
Now
you
I'm begging
everything.
for footnotes in the story of your life.
I gave up everything. Like I made you the peak of what I could ever reach for
Mm-hmm.
instead of what I wanted. And now look at me. It's so devastating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and then I really want to talk about Illicit Affairs because,
Yeah, please.
first of all, everyone's referring to the Eras Tour rendition of this as the angry version.
Don't call me kid.
Yeah, which
Don't call
I
me
have a clip
baby.
of it from the Eras Tour. So, Laura, can you play that for us?
Yeah, give me one
Because
sec.
this kind of really shows it.
Ugh.
Brutal.
It's so good. I like, when is she dropping the Eras Tour soundtrack album? Because I need the like high quality version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one that I was like, oh, this is about a made up, love triangle or whatever.
Yeah, this is
This is
a tryst.
Augustine's song.
But it's also like,
or
it's kind of confusing though, because she writes it from the perspective of the woman who is like the other woman. And there's a lot of, like, compared to other songs like Better Than Revenge or something, there's a lot of like humanity given to that character in this song. But like,
Well, I mean,
you know what I
she
mean?
talks about an illicit affair, but does she ever claim in the song that she's actually the other part of that, or is she just observing it? Because if we want to go back to the Emma Laird of it all and the, cheated on her during the summer and showed up in Betty's front porch,
yikes.
Yeah.
that don't call me kid, don't call me baby, you show me a language. That could just be from Taylor finding out, what he was doing. And look at this mess that you made me. Look, I
Yeah.
care so much.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like this is artistic license. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like she was like, I'm going to write about these two having an affair. But then, like, there's always this infusion of personal. And
Yeah.
I feel like that bridge is just like,
Yes.
screw you. Like, look what you did to me. I'm literally fuming. And I'm so mad about this situation. I can't do anything about it.
You know damn
Um,
well that I would ruin myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
God.
so good.
That cuts so deep.
Yeah.
She would do
And she's
anything
so
for this
mad.
stupid little man. And he
Yeah.
didn't give a fuck.
No. And then we have Exile. And Exile being angry, I feel like a lot of people were a little confused about. But
Oh, no. Because I'm connecting Exile now to Coney Island. I think I've seen this film before.
Yeah.
And she knows that the end is coming. And she's looking back, she's like, oh, this is just going to be a repeat of every relationship that I've had.
Here we go.
Here we
It's
go
another
again.
one.
Yep.
So here's Exile.
You were my crown, now I'm in exile, seeing you out. think I've seen this film before, so I'm leaving out the side door.
Like, I'm out. I'm out. Screw you, I'm
Yeah.
out.
Also, she's in exile. Don't you ignore me.
Yeah.
The best thing is part, like,
Well, and also she says, "You were my crown. Now I'm in exile. Seeing you out. You were my crown is like I made you my temple, my mural, my sky.
my kingdom
Yeah.
come
And
undone.
now I'm in
Yeah.
exile. Like I was giving you everything, and now you just want to lock me away. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
can
King of my
tell this is
heart.
going downhill, so I'm out. I'm just gonna peace out.
King of my heart, kingdom come undone, you were my crown. These are all Joe associated songs.
Yeah.
And
Is it like because he's British? Is this like a royal family thing?
I don't know.
a little
feel
on
like-
the nose, I feel.
I feel like King of my heart is where it started from. So
Yeah.
king, crown, yeah, I could guess that. I don't know. So
Oh.
that was a lot. And then we had bargaining. And I feel like bargaining's hard to figure out because like it's when you negotiate things in a complicated situation, like with yourself and with other people. So the message that Taylor said was, this playlist takes you through the songs I wrote while in the bargaining phase. You're trying to make things better. You're oftentimes feeling really desperate because oftentimes you have a gut intuition that tells us things that are not going the way that we had hoped, which makes us more desperate, which makes us bargain more. So a spiral of delusion.
Yeah.
There's a lot on this one.
Yeah. So first up is peace. And I want to know, does the idea of this being a bargaining song, does this change how we read the song?
Yeah, it's sadder. Like, give you my wild, give you a child, sit with you in the trenches, swing with you for the fences. Like, this is the stuff I'm willing to do with you. Like, won't you
Mhm.
please, please, please? Like, I'm bargaining with you. What do I need to do? Like, these are all the things
Yeah.
I give for you. Like, that is so sad.
I'm trying to figure out if I've always read it this way though, because for me, peace is her saying, I can't give you peace, but I can give you all of this other stuff. Is that enough?
I think the thing that stings about this now is, yes, I always saw it like that, but I always think we understood that this is her pleading to Joe, but obviously Joe loves her and is willing to accept her because they're together. And she's doing this because she's being self-deprecating, not because she actually feels that way. Like, she's like,
The
I
rain
know.
is always going to come.
Right.
Which I, on TikTok or somewhere, saw that someone was saying how the rain is always going to come if you're standing with me, and then midnight rain. She's midnight rain. I don't think
Yeah.
I'd put that
I
together
don't think he's
before.
sunshine, though.
Yeah, I don't think that sounds about Joe, honestly.
I don't either.
But yeah, she says, give you my wild, give you a child, sit with you in the trenches, swing with you for the fences. Like, give you a child as a bargaining thing is what is devastating to me. Like, before read that part is like, I love you. Like, I want to have a family with you and do all these things. Like, isn't that enough? But if this is bargaining, it's like, well, we can have a kid. I'll have a kid with you. Like, that's a very different tone.
And also, think of how big of a fucking deal that would be. Not just like, oh, we'll have a baby together, but she's Taylor Swift. I will give you a child. I'll pay, alimony or child support to this child for the rest of your life. You'll forever be connected to me and my $1 billion. That's not just like I would give you a son. That's like,
Yeah.
I will set you up financially for life.
Yeah.
That's like a financial transaction.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
like bargaining is probably the one that stings the most because like you should never have to bargain in a relationship or a heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also like bargaining with herself too. She's like, I'm willing to do that because I love this man and I'm willing to give it up. And, this like inner dialogue that she's probably having with herself too about it. She's like, I'm willing to have a kid with him. Like, if that's what it takes, like, I'm willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
When really it's like, girl, no. Anyway. The Archer is on here. That stings. Like, I'm a little confused by the Archer being on bargaining, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, me too. What are your thoughts, Rebecca?
Well, we have Who Could Ever Leave Me, Darling, but Who Could Stay. That's the only thing that really stands out, because I see that song as more of a introspective
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The line that stuck out to me was "Help me hold on to you." It's like, I
Like,
still
give me
don't.
something.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's in the bargaining phase. Be like I see this ending, but I'm trying to bargain with you. Like, help me fix this. Help me hold on to you. Help me not lose you. What can I do? What can I give you to make you happy? So maybe that's kind of what it's like.
I think
don't know.
Cornelia Street being on this one.
Oh, that was... They hit the second tower.
Yeah.
They hit the Pentagon with that one. Woo.
I hope I never lose you. I hope this never ends. I'll never walk Cornelia Street again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
look at
Yeah.
I'll never be able to be the same. I'll never be able to experience this again. Like, please, it's pleading. It's just like desperation,
Yeah.
pleading,
Also,
bargaining.
the verse of like, turned around before I hit the tunnel. That was just, that's, Cornelia Street is so romantic. No. This is still anxiety phase of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not, because also in Cornelia Street, she leaves. Right? Like,
Yeah.
she leaves. And then she
The
turns
ultimatum, the
around.
cruel summer ultimatum of, I don't want to keep secrets
Yeah.
just to keep you. So she said, okay, fine, fuck it. And then
then
before
she's
she hit the tunnel, she said, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
And then she's
Can't live
saying, I don't
without
want
ya.
to lose you over and over. So she's like saying, please, like, what can I do to say, how can we fix this kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't want to
It's
lose
also yeah, and Cornelia Street, death by 1,000 cuts.
you.
Gave you too much,
brutal.
but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Okay, what else now? Like, what am I supposed to do after this? Like, okay, so that didn't work. What else can I do to make this work? Let's
Made you
bargain
my
this.
temple, my mural, my sky.
Oh my god.
And now I'm begging for footnotes in the story of her life. She says the same shit in a million different ways.
Yeah.
And we're all like so oblivious to it.
We
But
need a
she
sound
really
clip.
says it again and again
We
and
need
again.
a sound clip on this freaking Riverside account that just says, I gave so many sides. Like, literally, like,
Yeah.
throughout
Yeah.
this entire situation, she's given us this she's been telling us the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So Death by 1,000 Cuts, she told us
Ah.
she wrote after watching the movie Someone Great.
Okay.
So we're like, okay. Again, this is like the folklorification of Death by 1,000 Cuts.
yeah.
But then this one, I really kind of had a spiral reading through the lyric in this comics through the lens of, crap, what are we in? Bargaining? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like saying 1,000 cuts are all the ways she's been hurt. But in this song, is she bargaining to stay and keep the relationship? Because she says, gave you too much, but it wasn't enough. Like, bargaining to stay, but got turned down. And then, if the story's over, why am I still writing pages? Like, it sounds like they broke up and she's trying to get back together with this person. Like, now I'm searching for signs in a haunted club.
I feel like she's bargaining with herself. Like, is this relationship really worth it? I've,
Yeah.
If the story's over, why am I still writing pages? Yeah,
And
I don't
like,
know.
do you
Acid
know, like,
stuff,
when you're obsessed with, like, the idea of somebody, and, like, if they give you any inkling that there's interest, you're like, that's it. They like me. That's it.
Mhm.
They like me. Like, that's enough reason for me to follow through. That's like bargaining with yourself that is willing to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
because she thinks she's gonna marry this man and have
Yeah.
his children.
Right.
So she's still bargaining with herself, like, is it worth it? Because I think he's the one. So should I put up
Mhm.
with his shit? Should I put up with him ignoring me and still not
Mhm.
wanting to marry me and, still wanting to be so private about everything and not talking about me in interviews and ignoring me and blah, 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 blah. Is this fucking worth it? I asked the
Mhm.
traffic light if it'll be
Mhm.
all right. I'm
Yeah.
so fucking desperate. I'm asking
they say,
inanimate
"I
objects
don't know."
to give me signs.
Laura, can you roll the clip for this one? Because we gotta listen to a
Yeah.
little bit of this.
Yeah.
My heart, my hips, my body, my love. Trying to find a part of me that you didn't touch. Gave up on me like I was a bad drug. Now I'm searching for signs in a haunted club.
Oh, one of the best bridges.
I know,
Rebecca,
another
is
great
this
bridge.
The best.
Another one.
I
Oh
could
my
do without
God.
the "Our films, our songs, united we stand" line. That just is such a weird line to me.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, and then
Um,
Afterglow, which we've already talked about.
Yeah.
They've been fighting.
They've been fighting.
Fight. Yeah.
Period.
But
Like-
yeah, Afterglow, here she's taking the blame. She's saying, "I'm the one who blew things up. Please don't go. Let's make up. Like, why did I have to do this?" Like, it really is a song where she's taking complete responsibility for whatever happened and saying, like, basically saying, like, "I'm delusional. I'm crazy. I just made all this up. It's all in my head. Like, I'm so sorry. Please stay." And
It's giving she was
not good.
gaslit into apologizing to him.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's how I read it too.
Yeah.
And then I agree, Sarah. The next one, Renegade. I'm confused why this is on bargaining because Renegade is anger to me.
yeah.
It's like, is it insensitive for me to say, get your shit together so I can love you? Like, get your shit together. Like,
Yeah.
but I think it's also like she's laying it out there. Like, this is what I need
Mhm.
for our relationship to be good. Here's my bargain. Here's what I'm willing to. Do you know what I mean?
For
I don't
our
know.
future history.
Yeah, like this song to me feels like very like sturdy. Like she's standing on business in this song. You know, like
Right.
For once. For once.
Period.
you know,
Yeah.
she says, "Is it insensitive for me to say get your shit together so I can love you? Is it really your anxiety that stops you from giving me everything, or do you just not want to?" Like
That,
I-
I think, you wrap it up in a bow. That's the whole relationship, I think, in those
Yes.
lines.
like I don't
He's
that is
making
not
excuses.
bargaining.
Yeah.
That is her saying, "Here's the deal. Tell me what is up with you because I'm tired of your bullshit." That's what it sounds
Yep.
like.
Yep.
I
Okay.
don't know.
Is that the end? Is that the end of the playlist? The last song
It
on
is
the
the
playlist?
last one. It's also the
So
is it
that's
the
kind of
only
our-
one that's not in her
Taylor
personal.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
only one that's
Album?
not. That's the only one
Which
that's
is so
not
telling of
hers.
like, yep, I wrote this fucking song about him. I
Yep.
needed
And
to
guess
include
what?
it.
It didn't even come out on her album because it had to be
Nope.
a Big Red Machine song.
Yeah.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
But I see that's our pattern again of it's the last song on the playlist. So that's her boundary that she put up. That's the end of the bargaining.
Yep.
Where she's like, get it the
True.
fuck together
Yep.
or
Mhm.
not at all. And then
I
that
like
leads
that.
us into acceptance, right?
Depression.
Depression. Oh.
Ah, even
How
better.
could I forget? Yeah.
So for this playlist is titled "Old Habits Die Screaming," which I did not when I saw like that I did not associate that with depression. I definitely
Mhm.
associated that with like anger. I don't know, whatever. I
Mhm.
guess we'll hear songs or lyrics and
denial.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the message she said is, we're going to be exploring the feelings of depression that often lace their way through my songs. In times like these, I'll write a song because I feel lonely or hopeless, and writing a song feels like the only way to process that intensity of an emotion. And while these things are really, really hard to go through, I often feel like when I'm listening to songs or writing songs that deal with this intensity of loss and hopelessness, usually that's in the phase when I'm getting close to getting past that feeling.
Hmm.
Woo! Woo! And there's like obvious ones on here. Bigger
Mhm.
Than the Whole Sky, You're Losing Me, My Tears Ricochet,
Yeah.
Epiphany.
Nothing new.
But Champagne Problems.
Okay.
Okay.
Again, this is like
Okay.
the Betty of this one because they wrote Champagne Problems together. Again,
How much?
why are they writing these songs
how
together during COVID? Okay.
I bet Joe took the night train once and then she was like, that's it, I have to put him as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Like-
He could write a melody and not know any of the lyrics that are happening.
But she has
How
so
together
many,
was it?
she has so many lyrics that are telling us that she wanted to get married and he did not.
Yeah.
And this song is about someone who proposes and gets turned down, right? She wrote it with Joe. So I want to know. And the idea that Joe didn't want songs about him coming out that puts him in a bad light. Did they decide to write this fictional stuff together about their own relationship? And like talk like, hey, let's process this together. Or like, I'm trying to write a song about this, and Joe comes in, it's like, you can't say that. And then she's like, well, what if I do this and this? And what if I make you a co-writer? And then it like, how could we write this song about us if you're on song? I don't know. Like that's, putting a lot on Taylor. But in the song,
I feel like-
it's the woman who didn't want to get married. So it's like,
Yes,
oh, I'm just gonna
exactly.
flip the thing. So it's like,
Exactly,
oh, this is
yeah.
completely
Exactly.
fictional.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Red herring.
She's-
Red herring.
She's
Yeah.
basically hiding her own feelings. Maybe she was even doing this to Joe, like, oh yeah, I made up this story about these two people, but it's really like her feelings,
Yeah.
and that's the only way because she plays him every song first.
Yeah.
You're the first person I show my songs to. How could you play a song like that about that person to their face?
Yeah, I don't know.
Except
gotta
if
roll
she
the
flipped the
clip.
narrative and was like, oh yeah,
It's fictional, babe.
Yeah,
Alright, here it is.
Sometimes you just don't know the answer till someone's on their knees and asks you. She would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's fucked in the head, they said. But you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up your tapestry that I've shredded.
What a shame she's fucked in the head. Which honestly is like, it's fitting for the depression playlist.
Mhm.
But
I know this was personal because at the Eras tour, this girl was crying the first couple times that she was playing this song on piano.
yeah. It's not okay. It's not okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. And then Coney Island, which if you're interested in hearing us unpack that, go back 2 episodes. Definitely depressy. It's a depressy song. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
brown.
Also, just it's hot dog colored.
Yeah, hot dogs.
Also, just puts into perspective because we had so much in that episode of whose point of view is this?
Right.
Mhm.
And it really is just
Yeah.
laying in bed thinking about every horrible thing that's ever happened to you.
Yeah.
Vibes.
It's
Yeah,
I'm
just going
cycling
through
through
the
my
Rolodex.
depressive phase.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It is. Yeah. It's rough.
It is rough. And
yeah, I
then
would say-
finally,
Yeah, most of those made sense. But yeah, moving on to the final playlist of acceptance, which is called I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Which I
ugh,
guess that's acceptance. Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
do
Because
the
it's
Eras
like-
tour. I can do life without you. I can move
Yep.
on.
she
Yeah.
says, we can finally find acceptance and can start moving forward from loss or heartbreak. These songs represent making room for more good in your life, making that choice. Because a lot of the time when we lose things, we gain things too. And like, of course, You're On Your Own Kid is on here. Like,
Mhm.
perfect.
Yeah.
Lots of like cathartic songs, like Now That We Don't Talk,
Mm-hmm.
Long Story Short.
Yeah. Closure was
Yeah.
on there, right?
Um,
Yeah, one that stuck out to me here was Labyrinth because to me, Labyrinth is like pure anxiety. That's an anxiety song. Even the way it's musically created creates anxiety. Which we can get into more when we do a Labyrinth episode with Lara's musical theory knowledge. But I guess it also kind of makes sense because she talks about the idea of gaining something new after loss. And the whole repeating theme of that song is, uh-oh, I'm falling in love again. So, like, this acceptance of, like, this one thing has ended, but I can do it with a broken heart, and you know what? Life goes on, and new things happen. So,
Yeah.
I wonder
Um,
when Labyrinth was written in the
Mm.
Midnight's timeline.
it's a good question.
But
One
then she
thing-
has I thought the plane was going down.
how do you
How
turn
you
it
turn
right
it
around?
right around.
Mm-hmm.
But then Great War is also on Midnight's too. So
True.
these two
On and off.
on and off for a lot longer than
Mm.
we think. There's a lot of signs that signal that they were not faithful all the way
Healthy.
through
Yeah.
and healthy. Yeah.
Oh wait,
And
High
then-
Infidelity is on one of these playlists, isn't it?
Yeah. Which one is it? Hold on.
Speaking of infidelity.
I think that's on the Bart. No, that's on the
Anger.
Anger. Yeah.
Mm.
Do you really want to know where I was April 29th?
But she wrote that while she was angry.
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
We need to know what happened in April. All of April. She's releasing in April. It's the
Mhm.
anniversary of XYZ and the other thing. You know,
Right.
Ryan everyone unfollowing Joe after the dinner, and yeah,
Yeah.
we need to know what happened in April.
Yeah. Well,
Or did you really want to know what happened April 29th? Do you want to know how he brought me back to life?
Back to life.
Let's
But was
Who's he?
High
Who's
Infidelity probably about Calvin Harris?
potentially.
Oh,
I wonder how
Why
many
did we
of
think that?
Midnight songs were kind of like vault songs that maybe she reworked that like never got released.
I think if you listen to
Oh, that makes
1989,
sense.
yeah.
Tom
Mhm.
Hiddleston finally gets his light of day.
I
That's
forgot
how
that he
he brought me
existed.
back to life.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
got it. Okay.
And
Because
then
April
I
29th is
love-
when
Wasn't
her
that the
song with
Met?
Calvin Harris, the Rihanna song, came
Yeah.
out.
Mm. Also,
Yeah.
wasn't that like the weekend of the Met Gala or right before the Met Gala? Because that's the first weekend in May
that is
or first
true.
Monday in May or something like that.
That is true. I never thought
Yeah,
about that.
And that's where she met Joe Alwyn.
Mhm.
Dun 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 dun.
The plot thickens.
And
Yeah.
then one thing I love that is on this is from the acceptance playlist is August
Mhm.
because you were never mine.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Brutal.
Never mind.
Yeah. You were never mine.
You were never mine. Bye. Don't need it. Okay, that's a lot. So unpacking our feelings here, we get some general themes of Joe didn't want to be a part of Taylor's life and he didn't want her to be part of his.
Mhm.
We get general thoughts of Taylor begging for acceptance.
Mhm.
What are some other themes we got from these clues here? That it's not fictional, like that her
Yeah.
songs are not fictional.
Right.
Like,
As
oh my
much as
God.
she tries to write fictional songs, we know that so much
She
of the
was
personal
protecting
goes into
him.
every song because she can't not.
Yeah.
I
like,
mean, what's
she's-
fictional is writing a murder song. That's fictional, okay?
Yeah.
What?
Aspirational. Just
What's
kidding.
not fictional is writing footnotes of the story of your life. That is not
No.
fictional. That comes from an ounce of truth somewhere. So
Yeah.
we now have confirmation. You
Oh.
guys. Oh, my last thoughts about all this is like, I think Taylor does such a good job with diversifying how she like shows love to different music platforms.
Mhm.
Like she did a lot with Spotify. She has like those special like videos that she does.
Yeah.
And releases like playlists and stuff with Apple Music. Like I'm sure that she like somehow has to do that to make everybody happy, but I'm sure Spotify was like pissed that like it's with Apple Music that everybody's like re-listening to all these songs. that
Yeah,
are
because
Yeah.
she
always
used to
there.
make Spotify playlists of like songs she loved and like up and coming artists and shit. All that used to be
Yeah.
on Spotify.
Yeah. So
Also, I wonder if her Apple Music numbers were dipping a little bit. And she's like, let me boost my Apple numbers. I could have been
Maybe.
part of it too. You
you
know?
guys,
I don't know.
we've
Well,
covered so much.
But then also today, so today was the day of the eclipse. And we did get a
Yes.
little snippet of what is likely a lyric.
Which is already. I'm just so excited.
What does it say? The crowd goes wild at her fingertips, half moonshine, full eclipse, I think is what it is. Which is
So
like
good.
such a Taylor play on
Half
word.
moonshine. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You brilliant
It's giving
bitch.
Full eclipse.
witch.
Which,
She's
well,
Yeah.
also,
witch.
That TikTok that you
we-
sent me
which one?
of like speaking of which, Sarah sent me a TikTok. It's this amazing creator. She does all the stuff about the 112 theory.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nikki. I had to watch that like 4 times and I still like am not even like computing everything that she said.
Are you talking
um,
about the one with the astrology calendar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reading the clock.
Yep.
Yeah. Before we hopped on, I saw on Twitter without people talking about on the Eras tour in the beginning when she does that thing where she points at the crowd and moves her finger and
Yep.
everyone screams. It's like the crowd goes wild at her fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
She also does that during Mastermind
Like,
Oh, yeah.
all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I love this woman.
Are we ever gonna know? I feel like she's just hiding shit from us. Are we ever gonna know?
We need the full tell-all like memoir to come out at some point.
She has to write one at some point. I mean, she's literally a writer
Mm-hmm.
in her soul.
She
And she
has
keeps
PDFs
journals.
already. Yeah.
Yeah. She has a manuscript, I'm sure.
Right.
She said she literally has like PDF file, like even for like a music video, she has PDFs of all the fucking Easter eggs.
Yeah.
What I would do
I-
to get my little fingies on one of those.
I just want to be like in Taylor Nation with like a corkboard with her and being
Yeah.
like, what if we
Strings.
put a seashell
Yeah.
and
What if
just
we
a
just
seashell.
fuck with them and put a seashell here?
and then
See
like
what they
it just
do.
so happens you have a lyric from Little Mermaid
Mhm.
and then they'll go that way when really it's this and they'll
Right.
be like, oh my god, how'd we miss that? Literally, that's what their job is.
And there have
Yeah.
to be so many people on her team who are just following orders to like carry out Easter eggs, but no idea what the hell's going on.
oh no.
like-
Yeah.
Even if she's
Yeah.
explained it to them, there's got to
Like-
be someone like not her dad, but like her dad, who's just like,
yeah.
I didn't catch a word of that, but just tell me what time to tweet the post and I'll do it. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know
Tweeted
what
at
you're doing.
3:28 or whatever
Yeah,
the fuck.
It was
Yeah.
2:38, I think we're
Yeah.
on
Because
the
they're gonna read
post.
into it at that point.
Yeah.
So
Because
Yeah.
2
Also,
plus 8
like-
plus 3 is 13.
of course. Like you said earlier, Rebecca, like part of me wonders how much of like we now know that she does listen to fan theories. So
Mhm.
I'm sure with like Midnight's rollout being such like a expansive social media moment when like everybody like it was like a song title was released and everybody was blowing up on TikTok with their theories. I'm sure that she looks at theories and is like, I like that. I'm using that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
use that.
You can see
And-
everything she's liked on TikTok.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
And she'll go in and like that's I really think that there was one she liked about the Coney Island bridge. I tried to deep dive in her likes to like find it, but I couldn't. But I'm pretty sure she did like that. And that's like a confirmation. Or even if she
Yeah.
didn't mean it and is like, oh yeah, it's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Good interpretation. Yeah.
Well
Dude.
done. You know. Oh my gosh. Well,
Literally, the next time that we're on this podcast, Tortured Poets Department is going to be out.
I'm not
Yeah.
vomit. I'm gonna vomit.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I know. Oh.
I want to know, like, what's it gonna sound like?
I know.
Is it sad? Is it another Midnights? Is it another Folklore? Is it another Reputation? Is
Give
it
me
something we've
electric
never fucking heard
guitar.
before?
Yeah, is it going to be like sexy sultry, like the album cover, or is it going to be stripped back and really cutthroat, like she always is?
Oh, I can't wait.
Is it gonna be all over the place like Red is? Acoustically or sonically?
I did hear that people who had an early listen to it, like her production team, have gone on record and said that it's one of their favorite albums that she's made.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that they like kind of argued with her about was the name.
Really?
And she was like, no, I'm not changing the name. That's the name.
Well,
And that makes me think that it is
It's
the
pointed.
Tortured Poets Department. Like,
there's a reason
Like-
for it.
there's a reason why
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't called, I don't know, anything else it could have potentially been called. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I think the Tortured Poets Department, I keep thinking about this theory. It's not an apostrophe to be found. Poets is plural.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna shit our pants.
We'll
I'm
find
sure.
out.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so soon.
Won't be long.
Yeah. Oh
Holy
my
shit.
god. So
The
exciting.
group chat
Oh.
on fire.
Well, okay, Rebecca, but you need to know that Laura and I are not listening to it
Yeah.
in the morning because the day of, Laura and I are getting together that Friday night to listen together. So no
Oh my God.
spoilers
We
in the group
literally-
Oh
chat.
my god.
Literally that Friday, I am locking my phone
Yeah.
in my car and I am on Do Not Disturb.
No social
Like-
media for us.
Nope, I'm telling
Nothing.
my beloved to text me on Facebook Messenger, and that's how I will be in touch with you because otherwise it will be ruined. I
Yeah.
will open my TikTok feed. The first thing I'm gonna see is
Yeah, 100%.
like,
This is
But-
what we did for Midnights.
You guys are
Yeah.
brave.
It was awesome. I know.
Bravery.
We are brave.
yeah.
I'm gonna be in Las Vegas when it's happening.
Oh.
So I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna listen to it. I'm going to like
Does
a
that-
event thing.
Does that mean it'll come out earlier?
Oh
for
yeah,
you?
earlier.
Will it come
I
out at
don't
9
know.
p.m. your time, or does it still wait until midnight?
No, because when I was on my honeymoon, 1989 Taylor's version came out, and it came out at like 6 a.m. my time.
Right.
My time.
so you might
in-
be able to
in
listen to it
Paris.
At like
Thursday
10.
night. Wait,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. You'd be able to listen to it at
10?
10 p.m. 9 or 10 p.m.
Oh my god.
That's sick.
I'll just be getting out of seeing Dita Von Teese.
Ooh,
Oh,
another
cool.
Swiftie
put my little-
friend.
Yeah. My our bejeweled fairy godmother.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's cool.
Slay.
It's gonna be so fun. But we will text you all of our the group chat will blow up
Yeah,
post Friday
Saturday,
night.
yeah.
Yeah, Saturday
Yeah.
morning when we're digesting all of it and
Okay.
re-listening.
Yeah,
Because the first thoughts you have to marinate in them.
Yes.
right.
So,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right.
Oh my
Well,
god,
anyway,
guys.
Rebecca,
All right.
thank you so much for joining us again.
Yes. Thank
As
you
our
for having me
correspondent.
again.
Yes.
Remind the people where to find you online.
At Rebecca Schlau, which you can't spell. But they'll tag me.
Yeah, we'll tag you.
We'll tag you.
Show
Um,
notes.
She'll be tagged in the
That's
the
it.
show notes and our social media
Or my
stuff.
my TikTok is Rebecca on the internet.
Oh,
Yes.
And I post Taylor Swift things and my cat. So
okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If you're
Great
interested in-
content.
Heidi Applebottom exclusive content. You can find it there.
Cool.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining. And if you'd like to support the pod, you can give us a follow at Blank Plate Pod on TikTok and Instagram.
And you can check out our website at blankplatepodcast.com. And please send us an email at blankplatepod@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 717-382-8313 to share all of your Taylor thoughts. And let us know what you thought about these 5 playlists because there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah. Go crazy. Tell us all your theories.
Yes,
Mhm.
please.
And until then, we've had the time of our lives with you.
And you know, it's time to go. So, bye.
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 Bye.